All right, y'all. We ready?
Yeah.
I can get busy.
Oh yeah.
Michael Christmas here with BCW. We are at the Village, and we are here to start the Michael Christmas show. I'm Michael Christmas, and today I will be interviewing my guest, Michael Christmas. Michael Christmas, how you feeling today? Man, amazing. Honestly, it's been a dream come true to have a podcast, and to get the opportunity to do one. And so, just having me here right now, I'm through the roof. I'm super excited to hear it because honestly, it's been a while. We've been wanting to talk to you, and I feel like nobody asked you the right questions ever. So I feel like today we'll be able to ask you some questions that you'll like really enjoy answering. That's the goal, because podcast hosts they're terrible. They're terrible. All of them. They ask the same questions. I've been answering the same questions for years. Um, and I'm excited to do this for BCW because I have some stuff I want to talk about with that too. That's great. That's great. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So we just have a few questions for you before we get our other guest in here. Again, Michael Christmas. This is Michael Christmas show, and we are here with our guest, Michael Christmas. All right, first question. Why did you decide to join BCW? Man, I've been knowing Lisa for a long, long time. One of the coolest people I've ever met. And like, when you know celebrities, you want to get down with the team, right? And I went to BCW last year. I got to do some work at the pickleball tournament. And I was like, this is like one of the most fun things I've ever done. I don't even know what pickleball is, honestly. And I got to commentate, not knowing the rules. It was a very good time. Very happy to have had the opportunity. And I told Lisa, I want to be a part of this. I want to help make something like this. That's really interesting because nobody would expect for you to be the team type of you always kind of done your own rep, and that's the problem. Is I feel like the rhetoric about me as a team player is off. So I'm here to set the record straight as well as really hold it down for BCW. That's great. Thank you for answering that question. Okay, next question. How many times did you consume today? All right, next question. Are you nervous about this adventure? Yes. This is new to me. All of this is new to me. Working with people, creating content, getting the word out there and the message about like something important as opposed to just my reps. And really feeling like I'm helping something grow is super important to me. But yeah, I'm terrified. I'm terrified that I'm not going to do a good job. At the same time, it's been fun so far. So I'm just going to go with it and see what happens. All right, what's your favorite part of BCW? There's a lot of cool stuff. I like pickleball. I don't know how to play, but I like it. I like high tea. I'm excited to do the Grateful Dead fest. I think okay. Easy answer: the free stuff. It, I've never received more gifts in my whole life than like the week of BCW. I go home and I dump it all on the table, and like Lisa's really like Santa Claus. It's great. And now I get to be like an elf, and I always imagine elves get like more stuff than even like the kids do. Like they get one gift. I'm in there, hella gifts. So definitely my favorite part. Otherwise, just like serious answer, getting the word out there about what is possible in this industry. What is possible for people like me in this industry is really fun as well. So those are my two favorite parts. All right, stupid question. If you could have a session with any three people dead or alive, who would it be? Thought about this super hard before I got here because I knew you were gonna ask me something like that because we the same person. Willie D, because I've always wanted to ask him about the three blonde disabled senior citizens that robbed him and my mom's playing tricks on me. Judy Dench, just because beautiful, beautiful voice. Would love to just she'll cough and then she'll say something and I'll feel like 007. That'll be a lot of fun. And this last one was tough, but I want to go John Goodman, but he has to be Big Lebowski John Goodman. I want to see what that type of volatility is like in real time. So I think the three of them, I think we'd all get along. We'd have a great time. So that's my dream rotation. Well, Michael Christmas, we're having an awesome time with you. This has been so much fun interviewing you. Unfortunately, you are not the reason we are here. We are here for Michael Christmas, who is me, not you. So you're going to get up and we're going to do something else now. Welcome to the Michael Christmas Show. Audience, clap it up.
Sharing here for Lisa.
What type of sicko shit you got to be on to interview yourself? All right. We need more coffee. Lisa, Are you good in makeup, in hair, and all that? We're straight. All right. Why am I? If right here is good. Right here is good. All right. All right. All right. Back in places. Don't worry about any of this, guys. I want a long countdown. Give me the 30.
Give me 30.
Give me a 30. 30. 29.
Stop it.
Looks like that.
Ooh,
How was
thanks.
the
Thank you for
traffic?
having me. It was a little traffic,
The
but I
trip was
made it all
okay?
right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And they put you up in a place, nice place.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah.
you staying somewhere
I'm
nice.
staying in a lovely Motel 6 across the street.
That's. I'm gonna talk to Jamie about that. It's not okay. It's not okay. Danny.
Yeah.
You got Lisa in a Motel 6.
Shit. You found me out.
We flew Lisa in here for Lisa to have a good time. This is Lisa's week. How
This
many
is
on
Lisa's
how many
week.
on LinkedIn? You don't have to tell them. Don't tell them.
10,000.
It's like putting a target on your back, bro. You too big.
I can't stop
Too
it.
big. Too big to be
10,000.
stopped. BCW, Lisa.
LinkedIn famous.
LinkedIn famous. Really, maybe the first person I ever met LinkedIn famous for.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna change all of my socials too.
The
Bio.
most famous on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Which is
LinkedIn
when you
famous.
think about it, that's to get money socials. So like you don't like being the most famous on Instagram, and don't nobody with no money know you.
Yeah.
Everybody got the money on LinkedIn.
I mean, I got like 6,000 on Facebook, but
No, that's cool too. That means you know mad people for real.
it's all industry folks and music folks mostly.
Well, because you run it. Because you run it. It's not gonna be BCW too. It's gonna be the CW. No Channel 10.
Just
You
the
know
same-
what I'm saying? No Channel 10. We're good to go? All right. And we going straight on this, or we got these guys too?
Straight.
All right, cool. We are here with my guest. Matter of fact, clap it up one time before we. And imagine she just came in and sat down already, even though you already watched it. All right. We are here with my guest for the day. Lisa is the founder of BCW. Lisa is my boss. Lisa is also kind of like a mom to me. She don't like that at all, but that's what it is. She doesn't super have a choice. Lisa, can I ask you some questions?
Absolutely.
This is your week.
Yes.
This is here for
it's
you.
It's
Okay.
all of our week, but yes.
No. Is it when Michael Jordan goes to the finals? This is Michael Jordan's finals.
Okay. Understood.
We all Scotty. Okay. So I wanted to ask because I know, but I think some of the people don't, and we're here for this. Why did you start BCW?
BCW started back in 2019. The idea was actually, we conceptualized this in 2016. I had worked with my previous business partner. We had, at the time, I was the booking agent at Hard Rock in Boston. I had done a show with Redman, and he had come to the show and
What's
said,
the like time period for this?
2016, May
Okay,
2016.
okay, cool. Oh, yeah.
And they came to the show and asked if I would book Method Man and Redman for the Boston Freedom Rally, and that was in 2016. And we raised the funds and we booked him, and it was, you know, one of the best rallies they've had. And then during that process, we said to them, like, this should be a whole week. It should be like Fashion Week, but for cannabis. And at the time, we got told the idea was stupid. And we started planning, and we planned for 3 years. And then we launched the first one in 2019. And now we are in year 6. Yeah.
Yo, whoever said this idea wouldn't work, count your days. We're here now. We did it. We're doing it every year. Congratulations on going strong this far. Congratulations on building a team. Congratulations. You've had some crazy things happen over the last few years. You can name a bunch of people that performed. You got Rock, you got Common, you got Currency, Steve's pulled up, Freddie Gibbs has pulled up, Lupe Fiasco has pulled up. We've had some very, very cool things happen at BCW, and it's all because of the efforts you put forth. And it's also because of that hip hop background. Can you talk a little bit about your hip hop background?
Sure. So
y'all don't know Lisa's in it, bro. Like the gangsters. Like what's my man Whack 100?
So I don't know about all that, but before I worked had Boston Cannabis Week, I owned a company called Experience Creative, and we did creative services and talent booking for companies, festivals. Worked with a lot of artists that were up and coming to kind of get them them moving.
Mhm.
And prior to that, I was the brand and PR manager for Leeds Edutainment, who did most of the shows at Middle East,
Yes.
which is how Michael and I
Yes.
connected way back in the day.
This is how I got
Yes.
started. My first headliners, well, really all of my first shows damn near were at the Middle East through you guys, and eternally grateful that you allowed me to come in there and do some of the stuff that you allowed me to do.
You weren't even old enough to be in that venue
And then
at
let
that
me
time.
come back. No, that's not what happened. It's okay. No, yeah, but it is really fun to have gotten to watch you grow in the hip hop community, watch you grow in the cannabis community, watch me grow, and I'm just following you around. Is really what's happening. Wherever you go, I will go. But I wanted to ask, how do you feel about the crossover between the hip hop community and the cannabis community? What do you feel like it does for both?
I mean, it's existed for a very long time, obviously. The beginning of hip hop as we know it now, cannabis was always a part of that. And the war on drugs was always a part of that. So the roots are very deep. Now that cannabis is becoming legalized and it has been legalized in Massachusetts, it's happening across the country. Now people are recognizing it a little more, I think, and they're, it's important for us, for BCW at least, to honor the intersection of music and cannabis, because the roots are so deep, and because BCW is so community based, and we thrive and live off partnerships. So it's important for us to kind of understand the history of all that. And I'm a little bit older than some of our peers.
Barely.
So, we talk about this a lot, music, like,
Yeah.
I'll put my playlist on, he puts his playlist on. There's like very little crossover. Obviously, I book artists like Method Man and Redman and Common and Lupe Fiasco. So you see where my
I mean, I love all
specialty
these
is.
guys too. I'm a student of the game for real. I remember one of the shows I did with y'all was Bone Thugs and Harmony, and I got to open, and I was so excited and also terrified of those gentlemen. All of them are it's so intimidating, especially at that time. I was like 19, maybe 18, and they just but I like them. I was just like, when your uncles come in and you're afraid you're gonna get your ass whipped. That was my whole entire time with Bone Thugs and Harmony. But then I got to go home and tell like my people I did a show with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and they were like, "You did it, bro."
Was that 2014?
Yep. Or
yes.
Yeah.
We had done a show in Providence with Bone Thug, and the next day we had an appearance at AWOL. And then a show in Boston. Fun fact, the night before the show in Providence is where I met my now husband.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He was running security and I was running the show. It just came up
and
as
he had like 9 gentlemen in both of his hands at once, and he threw them all into a dumpster together. You got to see this guy. He's just relax. Anybody ever thinking about getting crazy, my man will twig you. But besides the point, that's amazing. I feel like I'm not responsible for that at all. I really had nothing to do with that, but I feel like I'm
but
part
you're tied
of that.
into the story now.
Exactly,
some way.
And once again, another reason why me and BCW like this. So with the hip hop and cannabis crossover, I wanted to ask this question. Now you've booked some really amazing acts. You've had a lot of cool people. I'm hearing Michael Christmas is on the horizon somewhere in there to do a performance whenever if we can get him back on here, he can talk about it later. But for now, I wanted to ask you, we have infinity money. We got to book 4 artists to play BCW, but somehow this BCW is like it's like in the middle of like the center of the country and everybody's coming.
Okay.
Like what's that show where Freddie Mercury went crazy? Live Aid or whatever?
Yeah.
We doing one of those, but it's the BCW one. Who we booking? 4 artists.
All right. So I know what my drop mic show is, and that's what it would be.
Okay.
I don't know if it would be, the whole country coming, but to me, it would immediately be Eminem, Dre, Nas, Missy Elliott. Those would be the top.
Slow down. Give me that one more time.
Eminem.
Okay.
Dr. Dre. Nas. Missy Elliott.
I think the whole country would come if you book. Everybody, Jamie's coming. I will.
I'm kind
of
tight.
There.
I missed the show when it was here, so I feel like I'm gonna just need to book her.
That's just a revenge show.
Eminem, Dr. Dre was always the drop mic show. I said if I ever get to book those 2, I'm retiring the next day because I can never do any better in my whole career.
There's not a lot more that you can do.
No, what else am I gonna do after that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
I like move to Italy and live there the rest of my life.
I like that lineup a lot. I know that if you had a 5th, Michael Christmas would have been in there too, but it's fine. I gave you 4.
100%. 100%.
Okay, no issue. That's fine. Whatever. What is BCW going to look like in the next few years? What does it look like to you? What do you see for us?
Well, I think I'm getting a little time to reflect on this year and the fact that our team has grown so much and there's so many new people and new ideas and new concepts. I'm really into how that's playing out.
Yep.
And I never want to be the smartest person in the room. And my team is filled with some of the smartest people in the industry. Hands down, nobody is going to fight me on that at all. So I would like to see all of the people around me continue to like facilitate these ideas and grow these concepts into what they are. Some of the events we're doing now are like the dispensary tour and this event are new to what we're doing. And I'm into kind of how we're evolving.
Yep.
You know, we have some plans for some of the larger events like our festival and what we want to see next year turn into. It takes us, in years past, we've taken about 15 months to plan each Boston Cannabis Week. So we start planning 3 months before it happens for the next year. I think we started planning maybe 6 months ago for 2025. So this year is going to be on an 18-month planning schedule. And that's going to really allow us to come out the biggest we've ever had going into next year.
It's a super exciting prospect to watch the company grow. It's a super exciting prospect to watch the team grow. We have a lot of people on the team who I just like, I really look up to. And I've never gotten to do something like this. You know, I've worked with the team, I've worked with my team, I've worked with teams on projects, but I've never felt constantly a part of something, not something that's not my own. And this is your vision that we all bring to life to make our vision. Because, you know, eventually, whatever the case may be, BCW is going to be something so big that it's going to be bigger than all of us, but it's going to be all of ours. And that's going to be really fun to be a part of. And to just like, you know, in years coming, more and more people will see what we're doing and latch on, and the numbers will grow and the vision will grow. And we'll look back at 2024 and be like, remember what we did 2024? And it's like we Boston Cannabis like half the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. And once again, congrats. Can we clap it up for Lisa one more time?
Thank you.
And you're not done here. You're not done here. I just wanted to
Okay.
real quick get a good clapping going. So okay, back on the hip hop questions, because again, that we're gonna sit down soon and get a real story about your hip hop situation, like what alley you were in doing ciphers in New York, just spitting fire that made you want to get into it. But I wanted to ask, who is your greatest MC of all time? Is it Eminem?
It's a controversial
answer.
question.
Controversial answer. To say Eminem.
Also, like I was born in Queens, grew up in Long Island. I lived in Queens for many years.
That's
That's
Doom,
very
that's
deep in
Nas.
my roots.
Yeah.
My parents are both from Brooklyn.
KRS.
My brother's in Brooklyn. So it's very diversified. I was growing up a huge Pac fan.
Okay.
And I very still much like even some of the artists that come out to this day, I look back and I'm like, they're just lyrically, they're not there. Eminem was probably the next person I heard that I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But it's also really hard for me to make that decision because I feel the same way about Method Man and I feel the same way about Nas.
I have some opinions about all of these people. I really like Tupac, by the way, but that didn't start till I got way older. I was actually pretty anti-Tupac as a kid. I big fan of Method Man. I've always felt like Redman was like the guy, but me and my dad butted heads about that a lot. But it's only because, you know me, I'm really silly.
Yeah.
Redman's really silly, like the MTV Cribs. Like that's me.
And
I'm not sexy ass Method Man, and I will never be sexy ass Method Man.
Well, you said lyrically. If you asked
me, I said greatest MC.
Greatest MC,
right. Which I like all of your answers.
If you
honestly.
asked me who is the greatest person, I've worked with Redman repeatedly the most out of everyone. And let me tell you, he is like everything you think he would be and more. He's just like funny and personable. Yeah. Every time I've interacted with him, he's been lovely. Like one of the times I booked him at Hard Rock, he pulled me out on stage. And our first interaction, I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
I don't think you have.
Method Man and Redman were playing Paradise. I went to the show, and then I was with our friend DJ Deadeye. DJ Deadeye was supposed to meet up with Redman they were going to record some drops for his mixtape, for Deadeye's mixtape. The plan was actually to go to the Bridge with Archetype, with our buddy Archetype, and record there. And Arc ended up having another artist there. At the time, Zip Car was a brand new thing.
Yep.
So I had gotten a Zip Car and we drove over to their tour bus. And we got on their tour bus and recorded the promos. So this was like the first time that I had been around them.
Yeah.
And I'm like dying inside. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in a room with Method Man and
So
Redman.
awesome that they were
I'm
so
like
cool
dying.
about that.
And we were like, and Method Man really kind of went off to himself, but it was like post show. I totally get it. Nobody wants to be around,
That's
but
what happens when
Redman,
you look like that too.
yeah. And
You can't
Redman
just
was
be
like,
around people all the time when you're that good looking. That is not okay.
yeah, and he was just like down to chill.
Yeah.
He was like whatever. And we talked about football because I told him I was a Giants fan.
Yeah.
I talked about all that. And I said to him, I'm a promoter. I'm like early on. I said, but I'm gonna book you. I'm gonna bring you back. And he goes, great. I look forward to it. So then it was a year and a half later. I booked him at Hard Rock.
Nice.
And when he came, he remembered that conversation and he brought me out on stage and he said, this is my girl Lisa. She told me a year and a half ago she was going to bring me back here, and now baby girl got me on stage. And that was like, I was like, oh my God. I think there's a video about it somewhere. And then I booked him again a few months later for the Freedom Rally.
This is exactly why I wanted to have you up here, because aside from talking about, why we're all here, these people are my heroes, and I didn't have these experiences and you did, and you were the only person that can tell these stories. Nobody else can tell them for you. So we had to have you come up here and talk about some of this stuff, because the bridge from being the person that brought Redman back and got pulled on stage to creating Boston Cannabis Week is something.
It's all tied in.
You lived a very cool, very, very far life, and you still have, 100 years of BCW to go. We got a lot more to do. So switching gears back to why we're all actually here. And this is kind of a silly question. And keep in mind, I don't know all the stuff, so you're probably going to say something, and I'm not going to know what it means. But what is your best strain ever?
I am a big, I love a sour diesel.
I knew.
I love
awesome.
a sour D.
I was like, anybody who I've met who is from a previous generation from me will always bring up some sour from a time when I was in elementary school.
No,
it was honestly, the best thing they've ever had in
there
their
was
life.
That, but honestly, around that same time, I'm really going to date myself. 96, 97, 90 something.
Right.
New York. Chocolate tie. There was nothing like it. I'm telling you right now. People come on, Lost Boys made a song about it.
No, I've already known for sure. It's just so awesome.
Right?
I love hearing people talk about the time period.
Those are the good old days.
Of that pre my time. Like, I'm in this age where I can just walk into a store, and that's absurd to me because I only got to have a little bit of that really stressed out, uncomfortable time period where you're just terrified everywhere you go while trying to enjoy yourself. And I think about, my uncles, my dad, and all these different people who had to do their thing. And we're also very stressed out about it the whole time. So I love hearing these stories. I love hearing, we were smoking something this big and we had to throw it, or we was all going to jail for 30 years. So we had to hop this fence and then get on the train. And I'm like, man, I walked into the store. I showed them an identification. And then I walked out of the store with everything I wanted. And so these are the gaps we need to bridge. And even like on an important level, I think we need to bridge these gaps, just because on a serious tip, we are trying to spread, at least for me being like the community guy here, I'm trying to spread the positive message about what this all could be, as well as spread the message about how it's grown so far. And I think BCW is kind of a shining example, almost a metaphor for what this is from then to now, especially you having a hip hop background. And then, you know what I'm saying, being able to provide this space for this community. And I look around and there's all these different guys that were around when I was starting my hip hop career, and now they're doing this, and I'm like, you're still here, you're still creating, you're still growing. And like, even like, we got Bedlam's still in the hip hop community. Like, what I wanted to ask you this is off, I didn't write this down, but I did want to ask you this. What about like bringing people who you really enjoy being around? Like, that's a thing you do on purpose, bringing those people into the company and bringing those people into your projects?
Yeah, who wants to work with people they don't like, And honestly, Boston Cannabis Week was built. It was the idea of two people, really, but from the beginning, we brought our people in our circle in to help run it and help figure things out. And it comes down to like having people around you who you can trust and who want to see you win and you want to see them win and you want everybody to be successful. That stuff's kind of really important to us. So when I meet someone, I connect with someone and I see something in them, I want them to be around. And especially if it's someone that I value their opinion and they have good ideas, my response is always like, okay, you coming to work for us then? And that's how we got Jamie. And that's how we got Victoria. And that's how we got Mika and a few other people.
Some variation of that is how we got me.
That's also how we got you.
Some variation.
Well, people around me have good ideas. I happen to have a platform. So if I can, and I don't even, I have to correct myself because I say I, but it's not I. This is already much bigger than me. It really is. It belongs to everyone else because we don't do the programming. It's not like Lisa picks the programming and Lisa, we sit down as a team and talk about the events that work and the events that don't work and what the community needs, what people are asking for, what the sponsors are asking for. This is a constant question. We will sometimes change programming 2 or 3 times in a year if we feel like it's not fitting.
Yeah.
And as we're talking to sponsors and pitching, we're pitching all year long. And they will ask us for very specific things. So when they're asking us for those things, I'll go back to the team and say, hey, if we can execute this, it's going to be worth this. And maybe we should try it. And I keep a lot of people around me that are ideas people.
Yep.
I'm also like a creative in some ways. So I have good ideas, but my execution is like, I need the team to help execute.
Yeah, no, for sure. As well as, people, it's alarming the amount of input that they've given me on things that I have never had this much input on anything before, and just the amount of trust is incredible. So I know this is, you did not want to be up here doing your David Letterman thing today like that, but you've been an extremely graceful and wonderful guest. I have one last question for you, and it's a simple question. It'll be fun. What is your favorite BCW event?
You mean over all the years or during the course of this week?
I think over the course of the week, some of the reoccurring ones. Like, what's your favorite every time? Or most times? I know what mine is.
The free ones.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It changes, honestly, depending on the day, depending on the time, depending on my mood. I really, really am inspired this year by Fashion on Fire. Our event director, Louisiana Cruz, is doing something very different than even what we've done before. And I'm so into it. And then, besides that, the pickleball tournament I love.
I just wanted you to say pickleball so bad. That's so awesome. I love that.
So the tournament I love because people are into it. The industry's into it. It's an industry tournament now. Every single team competing is from a brand.
Yeah.
But the last event of the week, the festival, and then this year, the festival and Grateful Dead night is also our celebration.
Yeah.
It's like the week is done. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Once you're in that mode, it's like you're halfway there. It's almost like we're home free.
Yeah.
Like we're right at the very end.
Yeah, we get to enjoy Sunday.
Right.
And then Monday, we back at it for next
well,
year.
last year, this is the first year we've done Sunday to Saturday, which I kind of like this vibe.
Oh, yeah, it's Boston Cannabis Week.
Right. In years past, we've done Monday to Sunday. And then some of us who also work other jobs went right back to work on Monday. So it was exhausting. So I kind of like the reprieve of being able to like, let's have a day and then everyone go on with their lives till the next team meeting.
Yeah, no, that championship celebration Saturday night going into Sunday is going to be J.R. Smith-esque when we get done with Boston Cannabis Week. I can't wait. Lisa, you have been an amazing guest. This has been an amazing week so far, and we just started. I'm excited to see what else is in store. I'm excited to act a fool at all the events. I'm excited to see who all comes to join us. Please, one more time, studio audience, make some noise for Lisa right now.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to change over. We're going to get Michael Christmas back in here, and he's going to talk about some stuff. All right, Danny, let's do it. I think I'm just going to outro. No. Yeah. How we feeling? Is this a good podcast?
Oh, yeah.
Is this good?
Awesome. Danny,
Nice.
let you know if you didn't like it.
Thank you, Danny. I need that type of honesty.
Oh yeah.
Or at least like everything.
So outro just straight
Oh
up.
yeah.
Yeah. I can get back in the middle if you want, or you could just zoom in on me.
Hey. Of course, that was awesome. What? You guys recording?
Yeah.
If I knew you were coming, I'd have had you do some fucking interview too.
Yeah. Why don't you interview Mario real quick?
I'm not interesting.
What? Yo, you two and your horse shit. Y'all both have so much interesting shit.
I know. I was actually, it was funny you said that. I didn't really get a chance to talk to you.
Yo.
Say hello.
Danny told me how you got
What's up,
lost
buddy?
yesterday. I was crying,
Danny.
bro. That shit's funny as hell.
Danny.
Yo, that's Shoujo, right?
Yeah.
Right? I was thinking that the whole time, like, that's Shoujo, bro.
So I go down there, I'm hanging out, I walk up, I figure it's not down there.
Right, it's for sure not.
Mario, will you be interviewed?
Do you want to do?
All right, let him finish this out.
All right, let me do this and then I'll get with you. You ready?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right, I am Michael Christmas, not the Michael Christmas who's been hosting this podcast, but the Michael Christmas who got interviewed earlier in the beginning. The Michael Christmas who got to interview. Lisa left. He didn't want to do it anymore, so now we got me. I had a good time being interviewed. I think I could have been interviewed for a little longer, but it's fine. BCW is cool, bro. Getting to go to the stuff or whatever. Okay, no, we're gonna switch. I'm gonna be the other Michael Christmas now. Now I'm the other Michael Christmas, and thank you to my guest Lisa. Thank you to Boston Canvas Week for allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you for letting me have the first episode of the inaugural Michael Christmas, which is just like the Oprah show, and it's gonna be just as big as the Oprah show. The Michael Christmas show. Thank you guys for attending, and we're gonna be back at some point whenever I feel like doing it again. BCW, Michael Christmas, and we at the Village.